Specimen question paper issued by UPSC. With answer: Indian Forest Service, main, examination, general knowledge paper. Question: Q. Eka. Describe the various aspects that made the Mauryan period an era of great historical importance. Answer: A. The Mauryan period is considered a very important era in Indian history. The main aspects of its great historical significance include the following. 1. Political unity. The Mauryan Empire was the first large and organized empire in India, uniting most of the Indian subcontinent into a single political entity. 2. Efficient administration. Centralized administration, council of ministers, provincial system, and intelligence system developed during the rule of Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka. 3. Kautilya's Arthashastra. This text provides practical guidance on administration, economics, and diplomacy. 4. Ashoka's Dhamma. Ashoka emphasized on morality, non-violence, tolerance, and public welfare through Dhamma. 5. Economic prosperity. The development of agriculture, trade, crafts, and tax system brought economic stability. 6. Cultural development. Stupas, pillars, cave architecture, and art developed significantly. 7. Foreign contacts. Diplomatic and trade relations were established with the Greek states. 8. Inscriptional evidence. Ashoka's inscriptions are reliable sources of history. Thus, the Mauryan period is considered an era of great historical importance due to political, administrative, economic, social, and cultural achievements. Question 8b. Describe the administrative and cultural features of the Chola Empire. Those are words. Answer: The Chola Empire, c. 9th to 13th centuries, was a powerful and well-organized empire in South India. Its administrative system was highly developed and decentralized. The center of governance was the king, who was associated with the concept of Devraja. But in practice, administration was based on public participation. The empire was divided into mandalams, valnadus, and nadus. Village assemblies, such as Ur, Sabha, and Nagaram, played an important role in local administration, tax collection, justice, and irrigation management. The Uttamerur inscriptions are an excellent example of the Cholas' advanced local self-government system. Culturally, the Chola period is considered a golden age. Temples were not only religious centers, but also centers of economic, social, and cultural activities. The Dravidian architectural style was at its peak, a prime example of which is the Brihadiswara temple in Tanjavur. The Nataraj statue is world-renowned in bronze sculpture. In the field of literature, the Tamil language flourished, and the Bhakti movement received patronage. Music, dance, and painting were also encouraged. Thus, the Chola Empire was renowned for its administrative efficiency and rich cultural heritage. Question 1c. To what extent can Aurangzeb be held responsible for the decline of the Mughal Empire? 125 words. Answer: Aurangzeb can be held partly responsible for the decline of the Mughal Empire. His religious fanaticism, such as the reinstatement of the jizya tax and the destruction of temples, increased discontent among his non-Muslim subjects. His prolonged war policy in the Deccan eroded the empire's economic and military strength. The administration became highly centralized, and his death was followed by weak rulers with no clear system of succession. However, it is not fair to blame Aurangzeb alone. The overexpansion of the vast empire, the rise of provincial powers, Maratha, Sikh, and Jat rebellions, and the growing influence of European powers were also important causes of the decline. Question 8d. 1857 as India's first war of independence. 125 words. Answer: 1857 was the first widespread and organized popular uprising against British rule in India, known as India's First War of Independence. Its immediate cause was the use of greased cartridges, but its underlying cause was a deeper political, economic, social, and religious discontent. British expansionist policies, such as Dalhousie's doctrine of lapse, caused discontent among Indian rulers and the people. Peasants, soldiers, landlords, and rulers participated in it. Leaders such as Mangal Pandey, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Bahadur Shah Zafar, and Tatya Tope provided leadership. Although the rebellion failed, it gave rise to national consciousness and laid the foundation for the later organized independence movement. Question: Kyun doa? India's economic growth remains subdued and uncertain due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Examine this outlook. Explain the need for supportive monetary policy and strong public investment for a quick economic recovery. Answer: A. The COVID-19 pandemic deeply impacted India's economy. Lockdowns, supply chain disruptions, falling demand, and job losses led to slow and uncertain economic growth. The services sector, micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, and the informal sector were the worst affected, leading to declines in both income and consumption. Global uncertainties and investor risk aversion also weakened private investment. In such a situation, a supportive monetary policy is crucial. Interest rate cuts, ample liquidity, targeted credit schemes, and debt restructuring provide affordable finance to businesses, alleviate liquidity constraints, and encourage investment and consumption. This maintains financial stability and accelerates economic activity. Additionally, strong public investment, especially in infrastructure, health, education, and green projects, directly boosts demand, creates jobs, and attracts private investment, crowd-in effect. Spending on health and social security strengthens human capital, while infrastructure creates the foundation for long-term growth by increasing productivity. Thus, a combination of supportive monetary policy and strong public investment is essential for rapid economic recovery and sustainable growth. Question: Dobi. What impact does climate change have on freshwater resources in India? Can demand-side management, through appropriate behavioral nudges, increase water end-use efficiency? Discuss. Answer: Climate change has profoundly impacted freshwater resources in India. Rainfall patterns have become increasingly unpredictable, leading to excessive rainfall and floods in some areas, and droughts in others. Melting Himalayan glaciers contribute to river flow instability, while rising temperatures increase evaporation, reducing water availability. Declining groundwater levels, deteriorating water quality, and pressure on agriculture and drinking water are major consequences. In such a situation, supply-side measures alone are not sufficient. Demand-side management becomes crucial. Behavioral incentives such as water conservation awareness campaigns, water metering, usage comparison, neighbor-based feedback, fair pricing, and promoting water-efficient appliances can positively change consumer behavior. These measures motivate people to reduce unnecessary water use, adopt reuse and conservation. Thus, it is possible to increase the efficiency of water end use through appropriate practical measures. This not only reduces water scarcity, but also contributes to long-term water security and sustainable development. Question: Dosi. Financial inclusion is emerging as the new paradigm of economic growth. In the light of the given statement, discuss the importance of digital technology in advancing financial inclusion. 125 words. Answer: Financial inclusion aims to connect all sections of society to formal financial services. Digital technology has played a revolutionary role in this direction. Digital initiatives such as mobile banking, internet banking, UPI, Aadhaar-based payment systems, and Jan Dhan accounts have made banking services accessible, affordable, and quick. Digital platforms have connected people living in remote areas, women, farmers, and small entrepreneurs to the financial system. Direct Benefit Transfer (DBT) is ensuring that benefits of government schemes reach beneficiaries directly, reducing leakages. Additionally, fintech innovations have increased access to credit, insurance, and payment services. Thus, digital technology fosters inclusive economic growth by empowering financial inclusion. Question 2D. What are the different types of non-timber forest products? Describe their importance in ensuring livelihoods and food security. Answer. Non-timber forest products are those products obtained from forests other than timber. Their main types are I. Food products, fruits, tubers, honey, mushrooms, seeds. 2. Medicinal and aromatic plants. 3. Fiber and handicraft materials, bamboo, grass, leaves. 4. Resins, gums, lacquer, oils and dyes. V. Animal-based products, wax, silk, etc. These products are of vital importance to the livelihoods of rural and tribal communities, providing employment, cash income, and nutrition. They form the basis of food security during times of seasonal crisis. Local processing adds value, and sustainable harvesting promotes biodiversity conservation and community empowerment. Question 3. Are the directive principles of state policy best understood as a framework of values that structure and limit the interpretation and construction of the fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution of India? Explain. Answer. Yes, the directive principles can be understood as a framework of values that guide the interpretation and development of fundamental rights. Although the directive principles are not directly enforceable by the courts, they are nevertheless a guide to state policy and reflect the socio-economic vision of the Constitution. Protect individual liberty, equality, and dignity, while directive principles aim to establish social justice, a welfare state, and economic democracy. The judiciary has, from time to time, attempted to reconcile the two. In several cases, courts have relied on the values enshrined in directive principles when interpreting fundamental rights broadly and progressively, such as including education, health, and a dignified life within the right to life. Thus, the directive principles do not impose direct restrictions on fundamental rights, but rather orient their interpretation towards social justice. They ensure that fundamental rights are not merely negative liberties, but are also accompanied by positive obligations. Therefore, it can be said that the directive principles are the moral and ideological foundation of the Constitution, providing structure and direction to the interpretation and development of fundamental rights. Question 3B. The Indian federal model has evolved from the understanding that only a strong center can keep the country united, and this is essential in the circumstances in which the Constitution is functioning. Comment. 200 words. Answer. The Indian federal system is a unique federal model, delegating relatively greater powers to the center. This is primarily due to India's historical, social, cultural, and geographical diversity. At the time of independence, the country faced serious challenges such as national unity and integrity, the integration of princely states, the pain of partition, and internal instability. In these circumstances, a strong center was considered essential. Grants the central government extensive powers in the legislative, executive, and financial spheres. The Union list includes important subjects such as defense, foreign policy, communications, and currency. Emergency provisions empower the central government to exercise control over states in extraordinary circumstances. Furthermore, the All India services ensure administrative uniformity and protect national interests. Although India is called a union of states, it is nevertheless a centralized federal system. A strong center not only helps maintain the nation's unity, but also plays a vital role in economic planning, national security, and equitable development. Thus, the concept of a strong center in the Indian federal model is a result of practical needs and constitutional objectives. Question 3C. A state legislative assembly or a state legislative council under the Constitution, 52nd Amendment, Act 1985. On what grounds is the anti-defection provision criticized? Answer. The anti-defection law was added to the Constitution as part of the 10th schedule by the Constitution, 52nd Amendment, Act 1985. Under this law, the following are the main grounds for disqualification of members of Parliament and state legislatures. 1. If an elected member voluntarily gives up the membership of his political party. 2. If he votes against the party whip or abstains from voting. 3. If an independent member joins a political party after the election. 4. If the nominated member joins any political party after the period of 6 months. Anti-defection law. This provision is criticized primarily because it limits legislators' freedom of expression and discretionary voting. This reduces the possibility of healthy debate and dissent in the legislature. Furthermore, the disqualification decision is often made by the Speaker or Chairman, who are often accused of bias. This law often grants excessive power to party leadership and undermines democratic values. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. UPSC Government Jobs Batch starting soon. Online live classes, unlimited access for limited period. Hindi English Medium. Updated study material.